In 2000, we bought an abandoned 100-acre farm in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. We spent years cleaning it up, built a new house, and now are trying to make it a functional homestead farm. Welcome to Red Tool House.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome to another episode here at Red Tool House. You may be wondering, all right, Troy's standing in the dark again. Well, again, we're having such a weird February right now. It is still in the 60s, so I do not want to go inside. I believe it's around 10 o'clock. So I didn't want to just shoot into the abyss. I'm not doing a Chevy commercial tonight. I didn't want to just shoot into the abyss so there'd be nothing behind me. So I thought, well, let's just step outside of the garage here and have the truck as a backdrop. So that's kind of what's going on here. What I wanted to talk about in this episode, we're going to give some updates. We had a lot of stuff going on here right now. Coming into February, things are getting busy, so we have some updates we want to get into, and then I have another discussion about farming versus homesteading and kind of defining that. And I got some interesting things I want to be able to show you all that we experienced at a local farm conference we went to. Well, one of the things I'm most excited about that happened here recently is a delivery of gravel. You've heard me lament here the past several episodes about the mud that we've been having. And again, warm winter, a lot of rain, a lot of pigs equals a lot of mud. So I was excited to be able to get some gravel ordered in. I got 26 tons brought in for around the barn area where we're going to load. Back the livestock trailer up to the barn to load, which was a muddy mess. So now it's just super exciting. I dance around like some schoolgirl there in that gravel because I'm not standing in knee-deep mud. So it was a good deal. We had a good delivery. The guy did a great job backing it in, got it right where we needed to. Left me a big pile, and then my father came down and helped me Saturday just spread it out. So we got it all spread out, and like I said, it's glorious. We love that. Well, also, it's that time of year where we talk about ordering chickens, and this time we ordered our meat chickens. We've ordered some Cornish cross, and we've also ordered some Red Rangers. We're going to kind of do a little test here. We're going to run 15 Cornish cross in a tractor, and we're going to run 15 Red Rangers in a tractor. Same pasture, same everything, same feed, and just kind of do the old Pepsi challenge there to see which ones do better. Now, I have a pretty good idea which one's going to put on the most weight faster. That's going to be the Cornish, but we really want to look and see what kind of quality we're going to get with the meat, and just how the bird forages, how they do on the pasture, all that type of stuff. So we're really anxious to try that. So those are going to be in March. And obviously we'll document that. We'll document the day we get them from the post office through the point, hopefully, that we process them if Lord willing and nothing kills them in the between there. So we'll document that. So we're excited about getting those in and doing that test. Well, as we shoot this upcoming weekend, as you're seeing this video, if we usually try to release on Fridays now. So if you see this video, then this weekend is farrowing weekend. So we're hoping, we've got 2 sows that are pregnant. So we're hoping both of those will farrow over the weekend. They're actually due Sunday and Tuesday, but the one that's due on Tuesday, Mercy, she always goes early. So she's about 3 days early, has the past couple times. So we're thinking this weekend they'll go. So actually later this week, I'll close them off in the barn, get them separated from everybody else. And that way they can get in their nest, have their own little areas to nest in, and hopefully we'll be able to get some good videos of piglets, and hopefully we'll have a good farrowing there. So we're excited about that. We love piglet time. So since it's farrowing, we obviously, even though it's been really warm, I want to make sure we got plenty of hay to allow the sows to nest and to stay warm and keep those piglets warm and dry, just in case it gets wet or it gets super cold. Again, we should be expecting temperatures well below freezing this time of year, and we're not having that. So, but I still wanted to get hay. My neighbor, I have a gracious neighbor, has tons of round bales that he's put up over the years, and they've just started to kind of decay and break down because they just hadn't fed out to his cattle, and so he lets me have those. So I go over and get them when I need to, bring them back, and again, they're rough looking on the outside, but man, you peel that first layer off, and it's good stuff underneath, and of course the pigs, they're not necessarily trying to eat it. We're using it for nesting there, so it gives them really nice bedding. Also, this week, again, as you're seeing this video, hopefully we had a good run of picking up our first pork from the processor and delivering it to our customers. We take a big trailer full of pork, pick it up from the processor, take it to our customers, do a kind of a delivery route as we go around and getting all that unloaded as quickly as possible. So hopefully when you're watching this, we've had a great delivery there and no snafus. So we're excited about that. Now we'll have our next round of pigs to take. We're going to take hogs on March the 13th, and that'll be the last processing we have until fall. So this March 13th run will be 9 hogs, and we'll get those processed and probably have those back the end of March. So a lot of good stuff going on there on the pig side. Well, we're going to take a quick break just to give a plug for our sponsor. We'd appreciate you guys helping support them, but our sponsor is Goat Milk Suds. They offer goat milk soap, really good stuff. My favorite is the oatmeal exfoliating soap bar. Got little chunks of oatmeal in it. So if I'm in the shower in the morning and I'm late for work, I could even chew on a little bit and get some oatmeal, get my breakfast in. No, not advised. But I really like that. What do you like, Kel?
Well, we've used several different soaps from Goat Milk Suds, but I really like, one of my favorite scents is the lemongrass and rosemary soap bar. It's one of my favorites. They've got lavender and several other flavors that I really like.
Yeah, the flavors, huh? Yeah, flavor saver. So does it smell like lemongrass or rosemary, or is it a combination?
It's a combo.
What does rosemary smell like? Do you remember Rosemary in high school? She kind of smelled funny, didn't she? But you also really like their lip balm too, right?
I do like their lip balms, but this is not lip balm.
Oh yeah, this is lotion stick. I wondered. I thought that was kind of large for lip balm. I thought maybe that was like Mick Jagger's lip balm though. All right. Well, we're offering the gang at Goat Milk Suds has given us an offer to pass on to our viewers, that if you use the offer code RTH2017, that's RTH2017 on their website, you get 10% off your entire order. So go check it out, goatmilksuds.com. Again, remember, use RTH2017, get 10% off, even the Mick Jagger lip balm. Check it out.
You won't be disappointed.
Yep, exactly. Well, one thing we did this last week is we attended the 13th Annual Small Farm Conference in Charleston, which is the capital city of our state, and it's just about 40 minutes from here. So we went to the Small Farm Conference. First time we'd been to anything like that, and again, we don't necessarily consider ourselves a farm, but it was something we want to check out and get some ideas. That a lot of people saying, hey, you got to go check this out. They've got a lot of good assistance, good information, just a lot of good things dealing with how they want to ramp up small farming in West Virginia. So we went down there and it just kind of wanted to poke around. It was more of an educational conference. It was a 3-day gig, and they were doing these educational classes, one right after the other throughout the days. We didn't sign up for that. I didn't want to commit 3 whole days of time to that. We just kind of want to go down and sniff around and see what was going on there. But they did have a small exhibitors area, and we wanted to talk to some of those exhibitors and see what they had, see what they were offering. And so we shot some of that, and I'll share that footage now and kind of discuss what the takeaways from that was. Hello everybody, we're at the 13th Annual West Virginia Small Farm Conference in Charleston, West Virginia. It's being hosted at our Civic Center, and we wanted to come check this out. The reason why this has any importance to homesteading is small farms. The government does recognize small farms are a necessity in this country, and our state recognizes that as well. So we wanted to come down and look at some of the best practices that they're offering there, or discussing. This is more of an information conference for people wanting to get started with small farms in our state. But the thing we find interesting, there's a lot of parallels that if you're trying to homestead, you're trying to be completely self-sufficient. We know this day and age in modern homesteading, you need to generate some revenue. So there's a lot of things on the homestead that would parallel a small farm. So check with your local extension services in your state, check and see what options you can do there, but look at revenue opportunities on your homestead that can help you stay off grid, help you stay home, but may parallel farm activities, and check that out and see. So we're going to go around and talk to some of the exhibitors here and just see what we can find out. Okay, so as we walked around and talked to some people, talked to people from the state government, the extension service, the conservation groups, really got a good idea of what this conference was all about. And I was really excited. I was a little skeptical at first, but I was really excited. They are really into sustainable ag, not necessarily big ag, it's small ag, sustainable, varied setups. So there's a lot of parallels there with homesteading. And that got me thinking, okay, what is the difference between farming and homesteading? And everybody's going to have an opinion on that, but as I started meeting with these people, talking to them, I'm thinking, there's a lot of overlap, because modern homesteading, again, as we've talked about in previous episodes, requires some sort of income stream. Again, gone are the days where you just live off the land and barter for this, barter for that, and not need a lot of currency. We need to pay taxes. Obviously, still want to be connected to the internet and the technology as far as that goes. So there's always those expenses we're going to have. And of course, as we want to grow our homestead, we're going to have expenses there of equipment or products that we want to buy to be able to build up our homestead. So it got me thinking, okay, maybe in modern homesteading, and I've heard this term before, I'm definitely not coining this phrase, but maybe modern homesteading is really more of farmsteading, that we look for opportunities to do something on our homestead that generates revenue. Now, last episode we talked about our pig operation, how our hog operation helps fund our homesteading endeavors. We're producing way more pork than we would eat, but we have customers that are buying that. So that's kind of the question here. What's the difference between farming and homesteading? So farming, to me, when I initially think of farming, two things come to mind. Of course, big ag that you see out in the Midwest, these huge multi-thousand acre setups, or a big ranch in Texas raising all this cattle. Or I think a kind of old school small farm in West Virginia. My great uncle had family members that we knew had all these old farms, and it was just this variety of small animals, not something a big producer. But what is homesteading? Homesteading, of course, is providing enough food and product to feed your own family. And so if you combine those together, say, well, what if modern homesteading, or what we call farmsteading, is where you take some of the practices from standard farming, and you say, okay, I'm going to apply those to my homestead to be able to generate some sort of revenue. I'm going to do something that's going to supply not only food and products for my family's consumption, but it's going to produce enough that I can sell it out to other people to obviously generate revenue. And that's why I want to come back to some of the discussions I had at the conference, and we'll get into that now. We talked to kind of had a bee theme going on, so we talked to some people about some bees, but there's the really interesting thing, the second story, the boots to bees, I'd like you to pay especially close attention to, because there's some really neat takeaways from there as far as revenue goes. Okay, we just finished talking with David Martz of Double D's Bees, and what's really neat with his operation here is he not only does honey, but he sells the bee nukes, and also sells, as you can see, a lot of candles here. They had he didn't necessarily want to be on camera, which I totally respect that, but he wanted to, he pointed out that they didn't have a very good year for honey last year because we had such a late frost. So he was being adaptive here and was able to put together a bunch of candles, 100% beeswax candles. So it's really neat what he's done, just talking to him with what he's set up, what he's doing to get kind of a full-time gig. He's on 20 acres, looking ready to retire. And so from a homesteading perspective, he wouldn't necessarily call himself a homesteader, but from a homesteading perspective, here's a revenue stream that he's looking at with producing the honey, producing the candles, producing the nukes. Pretty good element there of income. Okay. We're at the 13th Annual West Virginia Small Farm Conference, and we are interviewing
Delia Watt,
Marty Watt,
Tony Brincasio,
Joe Blackhurst.
Okay, and you all were telling me, I was speaking with you yesterday about some really interesting things that we didn't know about bees, having a homestead, and obviously everyone's talking about raising bees for honey and the pollination they get from us, but you were giving some great information about bees other than honeybees that are great for pollination. You guys want to dive into that? Whoever wants to take that?
The bees that we're working with are mason bees and leafcutter bees. And mason bees and leafcutter bees only appear for 6 weeks, each one of them, a year. But they appear very conveniently when we need pollination in the spring for fruit trees, berries, and then they appear again, the leafcutters appear in the summer when we need pollination for vegetables and flowers in the summer. So the rest of the time, they just hang out in these bee houses in the form of eggs and are developing for the next season. So like all bees, they only live 6 weeks, but not unlike honeybees, every female is a queen. And Joe over there is the one who makes the bee houses, and he makes them in Ravenswood, West Virginia. And Marty and I now have been all over selling them. We've sold them from Florida to Ohio to all over West Virginia to Pennsylvania. So we're starting to sell them, and now we're selling them also in New England. And all of those products are coming from West Virginia.
Excellent, excellent. Now, you were telling me a little bit yesterday about obviously all the pollination elements. But Joe, would you mind giving us a little bit of detail about the houses there and what makes one of these houses different than a typical honeybee hive?
Well, these houses are very simply constructed using materials that are found here in West Virginia. I purchased wood that would otherwise find its way to the trash pile or the burn pile, and reclaim it and make it into these various products. I go out, I find logs that are down in the woods. They're going to rot into the ground, and harvest those. And I also purchase some lumber from the local lumber yard there to make the roofs with. And I burn a brand into them, and they're each handmade. So
awesome.
I enjoy doing it.
Awesome, appreciate that. Okay, Martin, if you give us a little details as far as a business element for somebody that's on a homestead that's looking to, homesteaders obviously want to live at home. They don't want to necessarily have a day job and have to commute somewhere. So the goal usually is, what can I do to generate revenue on the homestead that allow me to still pay my taxes and still live a modest lifestyle? Could you talk a little bit about how this could possibly be a lucrative business or a business element?
The biggest market that we have right now is for the home backyard growing. But there also is a tremendous opportunity for someone who has a commercial farm, a small farm, in a greenhouse operation and that sort of thing. And literally you can hang one of these things any place, literally. And they're there already, the bees are there, they're going to fill it up, and you have several options. You can just enjoy them. They certainly are much better pollinator than a honeybee, 100 times better in some instances. But also, you can wrap some parchment paper around a pencil, slide it in, and in October slide them out, open them up on the kitchen table, and stick them in a plastic cup and stick them in your refrigerator. And you have two options after that. If you just want to put them back out in the springtime in your refrigerated plastic cup, they're going to come back and they're going to fill this back up again and add to your pollination. But if you're a commercial grower, we're going to be coming out with the next 30 days or so a commercial bee program where you can actually put them in a field every 300 feet, which will give you plenty of pollination, even closer than that if you want. And then in October, open them up, and the next spring sell them. And oftentimes you can sell them for $1 a piece. The Canadians are way ahead of us on that. They're selling them by the bucket.
Yeah. So you're selling $1 a piece. $1 per insect.
Yeah, it's amazing. And the nice part is that they are geographic specific. The northeastern mason bee, leafcutter bee, is very comfortable and very happy to be in the northeast. The southern a little different. I'm not sure where the exact break comes in geography, but that means that the person growing them in a specific geographic area has a great potential market to resupply, to just enjoy the fact. And because there's such great pollinators. 50 years ago, this was a very big business. And then the honeybees, of course, came along, and you get that extra honey, and they became more attractive and sexier. Now, because of some of the things that are happening with the honeybee, these are coming back like wildfire, and I love it. Also, Joe didn't tell you, he's a veteran Marine, and the goal of our company on this particular project is to make sure that these are all made by veterans. So that's our objective. So we're really in a neat program that really helps everyone.
Excellent, excellent. Tony, is there anything you'd like to add to this? If you don't mind, just slide right over here. Yeah.
We do have a school program that we go out and talk to children about why this is important. We have a fundraising program for schools and nonprofits that have foraged seeds as well as our greenhouses. And Dee has also made some alphabets and some coloring things there that are very cool. And we are looking for veterans for sales. So if you're interested, give us a call. We are looking to expand, and we hope to hear from you.
Okay. How can people find out more about you? Do you have a web presence?
We have a web presence. It's bootstobees.org. Come see us there. Write us at info@bootstobees. Our phone number is also on the website, and feel free to call us. We're happy to talk with anyone.
Okay, so those two exhibits at the conference, obviously both dealing with bees, one dealing with honeybees, the other dealing with non-honeybees. And I really like talking to Dee and the rest of her crew about that because, as you mentioned, they talked about revenue and the pollination capabilities of these non-honey producing bees. Equipment's much cheaper. I mean, you can really get into this a lot cheaper, but it's up and coming as far as farmers and big ag using this for pollinator options. So what I'd like, obviously we just scratched the surface with them and just kind of really hit the 40,000 foot elevation view. So let me know in the comments below or through email or to Facebook or any way that you communicate with us if you'd like me to go back and flesh that out some more. I can get a hold of Dee and them and see about maybe doing more of a detailed interview, because there were some really neat things that got my attention there, and I'd love to have been able to spend more time with them. So let me know what you think about that. I can get back into that and maybe pursue an additional interview and hopefully unpack some of those details. Well, we'd asked in our last episode to send some pictures in of your chicks. Since it's that time of year, everybody's getting fired up for spring, and chicks will be out in the stores. We asked you to send us some pictures or videos, and we got a picture from Danny in Charleston, South Carolina. He sent a picture of his kids with their chickens, and I appreciate him sending that in. And it was kind of funny. He said, apologize for the pajamas in the middle of the day. It was a homeschool alert. And Danny, we can definitely feel you on that. There's homeschooling is... we always talk about pajamas are the homeschooler's uniform, so that's definitely not a problem. Appreciate you sending that in. So if you guys, again, we'll keep doing that. If people want to send in pictures of the chickens right now, we'll keep dropping those in episodes and give you a little shout out. We appreciate it. We like hearing back from people that watch our videos, not only in the comment section, but submitting things that they've got going on in their homestead, and we'd be more than happy to feature that. Well, all right, that's a lot of information we covered there. Remember, there's still time to join our email newsletter to be automatically entered for the drawing for the gloves. We're going to draw that the 1st of March, so you got just a couple days left. So just go to redtoolhouse.com. You'll see the sign up button at the bottom of the page. Give it a click, get your information in there, and you'll be registered to win the work gloves. And then, of course, we'll announce that winner next week and announce our gift giveaway for March as well. Be sure to give us a thumbs up if you like this video, and don't forget to subscribe. That again just encourages us to do more videos. Please feel free to leave comments below. We try to answer every comment as they come in, and we appreciate people giving us feedback there. If you want to follow us on Facebook, go to facebook.com/Red Toolhouse Farm. And of course, don't forget our website, redtoolhouse.com. We appreciate it. Take care.